What's up, everyone? It's another episode of DCU TV here. In today's episode, we're going to break down DC United's win over Chicago this weekend as they make their playoff push in the last 5 games of the season. As always, before we get into it, make sure to follow DCU TV on Instagram because there's a lot of great Instagram exclusive content you can find there. United topped Chicago on Sunday in a game that ended 2-1, where DC United went down early in the second half, 1-0, and then followed up with 2 goals from Wayne Rooney to take all 3 points from this one. Throughout the first half, DC United had far more chances than Chicago did to score. That included a goal from Wayne Rooney that was disallowed after VAR because Lucho Acosta had gotten tangled up and took down a defender as they were driving in on a counterattack. It was out of the play before Lucho made that run, and maybe he couldn't have made it if the defender was still there, but at the same time, these things happen all the time on a soccer field, and many of them go unnoticed. So what do you guys think about this one? DC United went down at 1-0 early in the second half after Raheem Edwards scored a goal where DC United was sitting really deep. They had a lot of defenders packed in the box. This gave a lot of room for the Chicago attackers to cut inside in the box, and Raheem Edwards just kind of dribbled through, ran to the center of the box, and found a little gap between some defenders to slot the ball into the goal. Thankfully, the real story of this game was Wayne Rooney's 2 goals because he carried the team on his back and played a really outstanding game. The first goal, he was just there right in front of the goal to tap it in after the rebound. And the second one, we won a penalty, and he just hit it so hard that there was no chance for the goalie to get it. To me, this game is more about seeing the positive of the team coming back from a 1-0 deficit in the second half than it is to see the negative where DC United did go down 1-0 to a team as bad as Chicago. Like I said, United had a lot of good chances in the first half. They just couldn't get a goal out of it, and their resilience, even despite going down a goal, to fight and get 2 goals and win the game, it says a lot for the team going into these last 4 games where they really have to push and get those wins to really make the playoffs. And their resilience in this game against Chicago just shows that the team mentality is still there and is still strong, that they're going to fight to win each of these last games and get their playoff spot. Now in 7th place with 4 games left, 2 games in hand over Montreal and 2 points behind them for that last playoff spot, if DC United can win 3 of their last 4 games, they'll secure the last playoff spot regardless of what Montreal does. These last 4 games will be tough, and DC United will still have to grind out results like they have so many times recently, but they're on a good streak right now, and the team is just fighting hard as a whole and really hitting their late season form to get into the playoffs and compete once they do. And so I'm both hopeful and very, very optimistic about this team making the push in their last 4 games coming up here. And as they continue that push, they'll be taking on Dallas at Audi Field this coming weekend on Saturday. It'll be a good game. We know what we're going to get from Dallas. They're a good team in the Western Conference who's really going to put up a fight all the way until that 90th minute. And so DC United has to prepare themselves mentally and physically for a big matchup next weekend. Stay on the lookout on Instagram for some DCU TV pregame content ahead of this matchup against Dallas this weekend. And as always, be sure to subscribe.